Again?
Yeah, it's always awesome to meet up. I just got back from North America.
Yep.
And it was the busiest trip of my life. I mean, it was harder working than being in Hong Kong and in China.
Really?
Yeah, non-stop working, and gee, that was really busy.
Cool.
And before I came back,
yeah,
I saw the movie Dirty Rich Asians.
Really?
Yeah. So,
and what's it? I haven't seen it. What's it about?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The movie is about rich Asians, the elite Asian people that live in Asia. Like that movie was filmed in Singapore mostly.
Okay.
And people think, oh, it's an exaggeration. People are not like that. Blah blah blah. But I want to to tell you my experience and the people I see around me that this story is pretty accurate. It's true.
All right. Well, I mean, can you explain like what kind of things happen in the movie?
Okay, it starts off with all the kids, from the big family. So the dad's always working. So you hardly see dad. Dad's always working. He's flying all over trying to make the business deal and everything.
Sure.
And even the dads, if they go to some countries or whatever, like not in Singapore, they go to Indonesia to work, or they go somewhere foreign, they would actually have an Indonesian name.
Oh, okay.
And like a Muslim name too. Okay. So it will blend in more with the business and people, and it's complicated because they would own the people I know, okay? And they would own like tin mines, they would own a lot of palm estate, all the palm oil and all that, and you never get to see the dad, hardly Chinese New Year, you might be able to see him because everything shuts down, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it starts off with the kids that spread around the world.
Okay.
So usually you see Singaporeans speak like Singlish.
Yeah,
I've
heard about that.
Yeah la. How are you la? Okay
sure.
la.
Yeah.
But
I've seen that.
Yeah, if you see those people from Singapore, they're actually Singaporeans, but they were all brought up overseas, and usually they would be sent to UK when they were young. Like in high school, they would be in UK.
Yeah.
And
well, it's quite common. All the 4 guys get sent to, America, UK, and Australia.
Yeah, nowadays, it's cool, to. It's not cool if you drive a Lamborghini. It's cool if you drive a Lamborghini with learner plates. That's the trend now, you know.
Sure.
Right? So when you don't have a learner plate, there's no point getting a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you would see lots of people like that, like in Canada, in the States, and it actually made it a lot harder to get licenses now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like in Canada now, BC, I just found out myself, you have to get a learner's permit, and you have to get it for 1 year before you get your driver's test.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so you must have a food license driver next to you, and there's a curfew, you can't drive at night and stuff like that. And then after that, you'll be a new driver, so you have to put an N there.
Okay.
And after that, like 9 o'clock, you're only allowed to carry 1 passenger, and there's a curfew. You're not allowed to drive. And thanks to the people that are crashing all these fancy cars.
I think it's good.
Road racing,
I think it's good because a lot of the new rich Chinese kids that go overseas, they get all this money, buy super powerful cars, they don't know how to drive.
Yeah.
They're, like you say, they're just on a learner's permit, and they cause all sorts of crap. And,
and the deal is now, I know a guy, he's a son of an official in China, so you can just buy a license.
Yeah, you can.
Right?
In China, they buy a license, but at least overseas, you still have to sit a test.
Yeah. But it's a lot easier or something like that. I don't know anyways. But anyway, they crash a lot and speeding and doing 250 miles an hour.
Sure.
And lose control and just total the thing, If he's dead, he's dead. But usually they're pretty safe cars. They survive.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing is, younger generation, like my son, when he wants to get his driver's license, he's going to go for a lot. But luckily, he's not going to get his driver's license in Canada. He's going to go to LA to get his driver's license. So it's a different system, but it's still harder than before because of all these young kids.
Yeah, right? Makes sense.
And talking about cars, a lot of car fans out there, like in China, Hong Kong, the cars are like quadruple in price.
Yeah.
And quadruple to maintain.
Yeah, super expensive. Even even second-hand cars, you know, there isn't a second-hand car market in China.
Yeah.
So second-hand cars are super expensive, and if you want to buy just like a normal Toyota or something, it's like you say, double, triple, 4 times the price of anywhere else. It's crazy.
And the gas is so expensive, and the parking you have to pay
everywhere,
and a lot of
people don't understand just how expensive it is to own a car in China.
Yeah.
A lot of them, you know, they're just oblivious. That's because they can park for free on their own driveway. You know, they don't have to pay for parking when they go to the mall, strip mall or something. But here, everywhere you go,
everything, nothing's no free lunch, my friend.
Yeah, there is no place you can park for free.
Unless you spend like 1,000 or 2 RMB on something, and they give you 3 hours max.
Yeah, exactly. If you're in the mall, they'll give you a ticket that you can.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's just different.
Back to the subject. So these kids get all these fancy cars when they're young. So because the dad usually doesn't have time to take care of them. Yeah. So these kids are actually they get a choice in a way. Like if you want to go to States, Canada, UK, usually these are the favorite places. Australia, not so many. I don't think, you know,
there's
a little bit.
Yeah, not as it's not as popular, but there's still lots.
Yeah, and you see them around. And then when they grow up, they finish college, they usually have an apartment. Like in New York, they'll get the folks will get them a penthouse apartment in Manhattan.
Right.
Looking over Central Park. It's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have one. Do you have one?
No.
A fancy apartment?
No, I don't really care about having a fancy apartment anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, so they get to stay in really, you know, top Asian places in North America. Okay, so they live in this little community. So usually you would see this movie and they would hang out in elite places, but in the States it's more casual, I guess, in a way. But when they're back in Singapore, Hong Kong, you don't really see them around, you know, because they are all in private clubs and the elites and
yeah, I mean, I've been invited to that kind of thing before.
Yeah,
it's all about face, and it's all about spending way too much money for stupid things like a very expensive bottle of whiskey or renting an expensive room. It's such a huge waste of money, but they think that's the only way they can prove that they're that they're like a reasonable human being or a worthwhile human being. Especially since they've been given money their whole life, they have no gauge.
Value. No value.
Yeah, there's no
money.
Gauge. They don't understand that, you know, you have to actually work hard to prove, and you have to earn respect. They just buy respect their whole life, so they don't understand how to earn respect.
And when you have no money, you're nothing. You're nobody, and that's the sad part, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Well, for people like that,
Well, so you see these kids. So when they graduate, and you see in the movie the daughter, and she finds this guy, and actually, if we see as a nation see this rich girl marries a guy, this guy is he's nowhere to be seen, like with the level of the family where they are. Never be balanced. So this guy will always live in the shadows of this girl, and people would like give you the eye and look down on you. And this is a sad thing, but that's real, you know. Yeah,
definitely real.
Right, and there's no love in between. So you see them cheating, like the guys cheating on another girl, because there's actually not much topic they want to talk about.
It's super common in Asia. I keep saying that. People don't believe me, but it's absolutely, it's just normal.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and this girl,
the way it is here.
She gets these credit cards or whatever, and she actually, you know, in Hong Kong, you don't even need a credit card. You can just buy a watch for $1 million. Oh, it's okay. I know your dad. You can just take it. You know, don't worry. I'll worry. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll just send it to your home. Do you like this bracelet or whatever? You know, for $5 million or whatever. It'll just send it. You don't even need to use a credit card. Okay, that's how the elite shop.
If you're part of a rich family,
right?
Absolutely.
That's how you just go there and just pointing with your boyfriend. Hey, you know, this is cool, and it's already sent to your door. You can take it or you can bring it back or whatever. You don't need currency.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and this girl, like, she knows that it's kind of degrading or puts the husband low. So she comes back every day of these bags and diamonds and everything and the earrings. She hides it from the husband. And this is true, because when you get all this stuff and your husband comes back and he would really feel, because he doesn't have the ability to buy like $1 million earrings for her, you know.
Sure.
And that is true, and he would feel pressured all the time, right?
Yeah.
Although he's in the family and accepted, but the whole family would kind of look down on him, and that's a reality.
Yeah. So you're saying the movie is just very accurate?
It is. It's pretty accurate, you know.
Okay.
And you see, you know, local people, they go back to Singapore, and you can never tell they're local Singaporeans. People, the Asian people in Indonesia, Asian people in Malaysia, they have a perfect English, British accent or an American accent, you know.
Sure.
And you can never tell where their origin was, because they were from young, you know, when they were really young, they're already sent overseas.
Sure.
And the sad thing is, there's not much family love, you know.
Yeah, I agree. It's all chasing after material goods, you know, to get the Ferrari or the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they can't chase after like Chinese stuff. It's always something foreign, you know?
Yeah.
Foreign education, foreign cars.
It is, really.
Foreign diamonds, foreign fashion. It's all about showing off.
It's nothing local though.
Yeah, it's,
you know,
it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah,
but that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
it's all about face. It's all about showing off.
It's sad, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
So this movie, let's move on then. This guy, okay? This guy, love story, oh, I love the girl, and she's not up to par.
Yeah.
And usually, I mean, the mother was pretty nice. She only find a private investigator to find out that the girlfriend he wanted to marry was from a broken family. The husband was beating her, or she got pregnant accidentally or something like that.
Right.
Single mom, and just worked as a working class lady and all that, and just found everything. But you know, usually that's true.
yeah, usually it's true. Yeah.
And the deal is, when they really get married, let's not talk about when they really get married for you know,
Okay.
it's too far.
Yeah.
And then the family will start pressuring you.
Yeah, of course.
And they'll just start keeping the distance. And your siblings, they would love you, you know, because you accept this girl. Because you know the family is not going to share their wealth with him.
Yeah.
And that is the key point. The family can control the poor guy. You know, if you don't come back, you don't even marry who, you know.
Yeah.
Because my father, no, like the dad is in a business partner with this mega, you know, corporation. So her daughter is looking for a husband. So the two families will say, "Oh well, let's marry. Get the kids to marry." So they'll be within the family. They won't lose anything, you know. And that is that's a deal, you know. That's a deal breaker.
It's a deal,
right? Yeah. And the other family, like, okay, we're gonna continue. We're gonna give you more business and treat you as family.
Yeah.
So it's just a business deal for
it is.
the family.
It's a business deal. It's like an arranged marriage. Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
I mean, the poor guy has to marry this girl that probably, because when you marry these elite girls, it's pretty difficult, you know.
Yeah,
because you have to bend over to please them, right?
Yeah.
And which is pretty. It's hard, you know.
It's really
and this guy is an elite, and he has all the people that beg to take care of him, right?
Yeah.
Like all the girlfriends will call him in all the time, and how can it work out? So usually they will just have an affair and just have the status of being married because of the family.
Yeah, it's super common. Right? I think it happens to almost like 70% of marriages in China.
Yeah.
That I've witnessed personally.
Really,
I know.
It's true, right?
Yeah, of course.
So this movie, you know, you see this love story, and anyways, if this guy, they work out a deal with the mom or with the dad, and he really accepts her, which is pretty unlikely, okay?
Yeah.
And if something, you know, they really, and then when you get married, they would have tell them to give you a DNA test.
Yeah.
To make sure it's from this girl and everything like that. That girl's not getting pregnant from another, just to suck you into the marriage.
Sure, of course.
You know, I don't know how would you feel if your parents say, well, give me a DNA test.
I wouldn't stand for it, of course. It's different. But I mean, even when you get married in China, you get a blood test to make sure that you don't have a disease or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when I got married, in the marriage office, they take a blood test to check you.
Which is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's totally weird,
Yeah,
totally
they have to check my blood, they check your blood, but I wasn't married over in Asia, so I was married in North America. So I didn't have to go through any of the blood tests and all that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's stupid. Yeah.
I bet you experienced all that, right, here in Asia?
Yeah, absolutely. When I got married here,
it's pretty weird, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
But for love.
Yeah. You can accept the nonsense because, you know.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. So you suggest people should go and watch that movie if they want to see.
Definitely, I think they should see this movie because from Brown Eye here, my point of view is pretty true stuff. You know, this is good stuff, and the thing is, you know, as an Asian, right? I'm 100% Asian. Like I've been brought up in the States for my whole life, you know.
Yep.
So, you know, when I grown up, I came back, you know, to help the family business. That's one of the reasons I'm back, right?
Right.
But still, when I go back, you know, it's gonna be. I mean, it's actually when we talk about this too.
Yeah.
I won't be treated as American.
Sure.
And when I come here, they would think, "Oh, what are you eating?" We were talking about this a bit earlier, right?
Yeah.
Like even the wifey, you know, they say, "Why are you eating this kind of stuff? Why are you eating chicken breast? Why are you eating beef?
Sure.
Why are you eating salads? It's raw, right?"
Yeah.
So we will get this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter though, man, because you can look past all of that. You know, don't forget, I'm a white guy, grew up in Africa. 8% of the population of my country is like me. Everyone else is black.
Yeah.
You know, or some other kind of ethnicity. Moved to China, everybody's Chinese except for me. I'm never accepted as a local here.
Yeah.
It's just part of life. You have to make your life the way that you want it. So don't care about whether people accept you or not. Just be yourself.
Yeah, and the thing is, we were talking about never being accepted. Even this movie, they were scared. The producers were kind of scared because they're going to be distributed in Hollywood.
Right.
And they did the Joy Luck Club.
Yeah.
Like, I think 25 years ago.
Yeah, I remember when that was in the cinema.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's a full Asian cast.
Yeah.
And now this is the new movie with a full Asian cast with no Caucasians or any other race. Just Asian, full Asian.
So racist. Where's the diversity? Better next time, you better put some black people and some white people in there. Otherwise, I'm going to complain.
Yeah.
Tired of that. You guys, you know, Asians are the majority in the world. There's more Chinese people than any other people
right?
in the whole world. People don't seem to understand this. And obviously in Hollywood, in America, Asians are still a minority, but in the world, they're a majority.
Oh, definitely.
And you know, that's one thing people don't seem to understand is that, you know, having lived in China for 13 years now, almost 13 years, you get to see what it's really like.
Yeah.
So don't worry, there's plenty of representation, and don't forget, China has its own movie industry, and
it's
you know,
pretty big
like
now. You know,
Bollywood has its own industry. It's quite crazy. Yeah.
So, and this movie, you know, to the conclusion, it's successful.
Yeah.
With the full Asian cast.
There's no reason for it not to be successful.
But it wasn't because you're a minority.
Yeah.
And in Hollywood, I mean, to be honest, you're Asian, you can never really jump out of the box.
I think it's more about making good movies.
You think so?
Yeah, because look, if you look at Bollywood, for instance, you know, and the Japanese cinema, you get some good movies that are watched all around the world, that are appreciated all around the world. And there have been Chinese movies in the past, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, you know, that kind of stuff, that have done well. But it's only because they're good movies.
Yeah.
China puts out shit movies. Most of the time, it's just crap. You know, it's just like some really badly produced war movie or some kind of badly
Japanese movie.
Killing the Japanese, or there's some kind of badly produced you know, Sangguo, you know, that Sangguo Xia or the Red Cliff or something.
But you can just see it in any channel though here.
Yeah, exactly.
You just turn it on randomly.
The thing is, that stuff doesn't appeal to the world. Hollywood movies, they've been doing it for so long. They know the formula. They know how to appeal to everyone. They know how to make a good movie. The Asian markets don't yet know, especially China does not know how to make a good movie. So it's not about the cast. It's not about the actors. Doesn't matter who the actors are. You know, you've got movies like Bad Boys and stuff with like black actors like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence and stuff. It's not about the race, you know, or whatever the actors are. It's about whether the movie's good or not. And that's what people have to understand. It's good. This is a good movie, and that's why it's doing well. It's not about whether it's all Asian or not. It's that it's a good movie.
Yeah,
I think
that's an interesting point, though. You know, because really, you know, like in China, actually, I don't want to knock China. I mean, it's good. The movies are huge. The production is big.
They suck though. There's not one good Chinese movie, man.
And the budget is even over Hollywood budget.
Course.
You know, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's such a bad flop.
They're still learning. Still learning. You know,
so
it's still a very young movie industry here.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Anyways, talking about this movie, 30 Rich Asians, it's a success though.
Yeah.
It broke, I think it went second highest.
Which is good. Means it's a good movie.
That's a good movie. You know, and we mainly filmed in Singapore.
Yeah.
And it's successful. So this is the take on Dirty Rich Asians, and I really think it was pretty cool that it was successful though.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope you see it though. Now you gave it away a little bit for you. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. After you spoke about it, because it's normally a kind of movie I would never watch.
Yeah.
There's no point. I live in China. I know plenty of rich Asians myself. So it's not something I'd go and watch a movie about. But now that you've talked about it, I'll go and take a look and see. Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching, and I really appreciate it. So relax, enjoy, like, and share. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and stay awesome.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Cheers.